This is the Love Hate Relationship podcast, here broadcasting at Paul Quinn College. I am Florence Griggs, your host, and I will let the panel members introduce themselves.
My name is Delisha.
My name is Malachi.
My name is Takira.
I am Elena Rose Langston.
So today we're talking about relationships and specifically friendships and ops. So let's get into it. All right, let's get started. Now, how would you define friendships or a friend?
I would define friend as someone who has your back no matter what and is able to provide good quality information and guidance to ensure that you walk the right path as well as be there for you 24/7. Anybody else?
I feel as though a friendship is a person that no matter how long of a time that y'all are apart, y'all are able to bounce back and pick up where you left off.
Have anything, Nalasia?
I'd say a friend is someone who honors and supports you and always tries to lift you up.
Now, let's start getting down in the dirty, all right? Let's go. Now, do you consider everyone that you positively associate with as a friend? Why or why not?
No. Honestly, just because I speak to you every day, that doesn't make me your friend. I'm just a kind and sweet person that likes to talk to everybody. But if I don't tell you you're my friend, don't assume.
I totally agree with her. A friend is not someone that just because I talk to you every day I do not consider you as my friend. It's somebody that is going to push me and I can push you. And me and you could be associates for probably a year, but does that mean that you're going to be my friend?
So what escalates an associate to a friend? Or what filters do you use to make that distinguishing?
I feel like if you can tell they're putting in what you're putting in and trying to talk to you, be honest, and if there's great communication.
I would say it depends on the bond and the type of longevity that you and the individual has, because long as there's quality time spent as well as you all have the same goal and the same path and you all easy to communicate with and get along and do certain stuff outside of the work environment, I would say I'm going to consider that person as a friend.
I consider someone as a friend as if we haven't talked in months and we can bounce back and pick up where we left off. That is considered my real friend, only because not a lot of people can see friends the way that I can see friends, and the fact that me and you can build that and share that moment. I feel as though that's a real friend, because I don't gotta talk to you every day for you to be my friend.
But let's go deeper into that. So let's say we are associates, but how do I get that? How do I get promoted to be your friend?
Honestly, the first way to see that I actually genuinely love you or see you as a friend, if I tell you my business and I actually ask for advice, or I just say any and everything around you because I feel comfortable enough to be around you.
I would determine that just based off the time spent, even if it's like a month. Because, for example, my roommate, I would consider my roommate a friend, even though we don't speak on deep details or on an everyday basis. But, for example, if we go into a school event or to a party, I would still consider him a friend. I wouldn't say, hey, that's my roommate, because we share the same thing and we go to the same places. So that is who I would determine as a friend in that scenario.
I kind of feel the same way. I know for me, being in the military, we work with people a lot of times and we talk to a lot of people and they just don't get that title. But when I start considering you family, I know when I invite you to my house and you get that 5-minute rule, but every time you come to my house and I ask you, do you want something to drink? Then you're going to stay in associate mode. But if I give you that, okay, I'm going to invite you for 5 minutes and then you know where everything is, that's when you've escalated from an associate to a friend. Everybody don't get that invite and get that welcome into my home, my personal space. Anybody else? Okay. So, what are some characteristics of a friend?
Someone who's gonna pick you up when you fall. Honesty going both ways. Someone that's gonna keep it a buck no matter what, even if it hurts you. Even if it hurts you, I feel as though if it hurts you and you can sit there and learn from it, because they're telling you the truth about yourself. I feel like that's a real friend right there. Because I would want somebody to tell me the truth. Yes. Anybody else?
My friends gotta be funny. They gotta take my jokes. We gotta be able to have real conversations. Sorry. And we also need to be able to talk about people.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm so sorry. If I can't chit chat about the drama that I heard today, I'm gonna be mad. Thank you.
Nah, but for me, I would consider someone like who provides love, trust, comfort, as well as somebody we could lean on. Has that brotherly love or sisterly love, but that's minus the drama because I don't like drama. So yeah, but anything that is positive and allow us to grow, yeah, I'm gonna define that person as a friend.
You have anything, Malaysia?
Yeah, I would agree with Elena in a lot of ways. It's like the same type of humor. If I feel like you're enjoying the way that you talk to me and stuff, I'll feel more comfortable being around you and everything. And
Loyalty. Loyalty is the biggest characteristic that I must have in a true friend, because I have to be able to trust you, and I feel all of that goes hand in hand with a true friend. I should be able to tell you my business without it being all over Paul Quinn College, or it shouldn't be all over the church or all over wherever. Yes, even the church. So that's just how I feel. The biggest characteristic that a true friend has to have for me is loyalty. Anybody else? Anything else?
I got one. If I book, I would want my friend to book too. As in, if I'm getting ready to fight or anything like that, I want you to be 10 toes behind me. If you can't do that, then you cannot be my friend. And that's simple as that. Sorry, not sorry. Like.
Oh, in saying that, also, what was that characteristic that you mentioned something that really brought something to my mind, but I can't think of it right now. But when I do, I'm gonna bring it back up so we can keep it moving on. Let's talk about ops. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay, so for a friendship, if y'all are friends with somebody that don't like somebody, that you don't like that other person, you know what I mean? Like your friend is friends with somebody that you don't like, can you still consider that person a friend?
Elena wants to answer that one.
Honestly, yes.
No.
Because I don't care who you beefing with. I'm not going to let them talk about you, and I'm not going to let you talk about them. I love y'all both. I don't know what happened between y'all two. But now if I see that they did something dirty, like bad, then I'm going to think they're going to do it to me, and I'm not going to want to be their friend at the end of the day.
I got some. So, for me, if I was friends with somebody and I don't like the next person, that friend cannot speak to the next person because there's a boundary and a limit. Because it's a bro code and I go off a code. So my friend cannot speak to the person that I don't interact with or I don't speak with.
But you don't think that's controlling?
It's not controlling it, just like, having that respect and that loyalty. Because if my friend don't speak to somebody, I will limit my interaction with that person that my friend don't speak to.
But just because just because your friend does not like them does not mean it. I feel as though it shouldn't go to where you shouldn't like him. Just because that person did what he did to him does not mean he could be doing it to you. It could go that way, but also couldn't.
Right. But then,
But at the end of the day, it should. I feel as though you shouldn't just base your feelings or how you see somebody off of somebody else's perspective. Go off of your own perspective, and you could put a boundary, a line between. Okay, you could be my friend, but you just can't. You can't tell me about him, and I won't tell you about the other person. I feel like that's a boundary that you have to set, and y'all can all just be friends because everybody got friends for different things, and that's how you see it.
understood, but no, but I'm keeping it cordial. I will still say, hey, what's up? But it won't be on a deeper level to where me and that person gonna interact on a daily basis or have one-on-one conversation. It's just a hey, what's up, and keep it as that because you had a respect and you had a loyalty behind it. Because if me and a friend is close from since day one and it's been years and something, and I don't interact with her up, I would expect my friend not to interact with her up because there's reasons as to why I don't interact with that person. You know?
He has a question.
It is getting heated up in here. Okay, joining the panel, we have Joshua Neely, and I believe he has something to say on this topic.
Hello, my name is, as she said, Josh. And I would just like to say, I agree with Takira, but at the same time, I feel like Takira a little bit wrong. Because if somebody do my homie wrong, and it was somebody that I find as a friend, it's a close homie. Now if it's like a regular friend, that's different. But if it's like my best friend, and somebody did my best friend wrong, then I believe that is terms to cut that other person off.
Well, in what extent did he do him wrong? Because, come on.
I'm finna start hating.
Oh, I tip for tat because this is gonna get. I'm gonna get it. In what terms did your friend did wrong? Because no matter what, it shouldn't have nothing to do with you. It should not have nothing to do with you. Whether they have going on, those who take them.
But I feel like
Wait.
move. I feel like that person can do the same thing that he did to my friend to me. Like
You
say,
hear the word could though? You hear the word could. That is not always accurate.
but they're principles. After
not
you see somebody do something wrong to somebody else, why would you go and be friends with that person? It doesn't make sense.
It's a perspective.
If they messed up, like say,
Jessica, so you telling me? You telling me?
Wait a minute, we gotta have the mic. Hold on, Nalasia want to jump into this.
Okay, I wanted to speak on this because I've kind of been in the situation where I think I chose the wrong person to kind of remain friends with, if that makes sense. Like, you can see, like, the bad traits in someone and how they treat your other friend. And then the other friend finally decides to put in that boundary and be like, I'm not talking to so-and-so. And you decide to stay with the other friend even though you saw how they treat them. And they would be like, well, I'll try not to be that way. You know, that's just the way I am. Or, you know, like, I'm going to try to be better, you know. And sometimes they just don't, okay? And you end up putting yourself in the same situation that you watch someone else put themselves in the position to escape from.
Right.
And so while it's like, you have to like think carefully and make sure you're continuously putting in that boundary if you do choose to stay friends with, because I did stay friends with both of them, but at the end of the day, like,
It's a boundary thing. That's all it is.
like if you're still hanging around a person like they don't want to be around because they put that boundary, it's gonna kind of like push you away from the other person.
Right.
So my question is, are they really friends or are these associates in friends? Are we having like an associate friendship relationship, or is this like your real ride or dies, your real homies?
So, my friend is like that's like my sister, but she talks to people that I don't like at all. But she keeps it as a boundary. It's more of like, if she knows that me and her are not cool and they having birthday dinners, they'll do it to where it's like, she'll do it to where it's like, she'll do a birthday dinner with me and then she'll do a birthday dinner with them. And it's a boundary thing. That's just how it is. And I feel as though even if we're sitting at the same table or something like that, it's, you don't say nothing to me, I don't say nothing to you. And it's more of, it's just, I don't know. Maybe we all just rate it differently, but I don't see nothing. I don't see an issue with it unless you're going back and telling people what I said. And as long as you keeping it a buck, going all the way around and stand 10 toes on what you say that you're doing, then there's no issue. Why would I have an issue? You my friend. I'm supposed to trust you as a friend. You know.
Yes, let me get input. First, to begin with, there's no such thing as second chances when it comes to me. So if somebody did me wrong, my friend cannot chill with this person or say hi to this person, and it goes for, both ways, vice versa. Because I believe if you do me wrong, you do it willingly. That's a reason I say why you do something. Nobody does get up and do something. There's a reason behind it. So I'm not going to sit in close proximity or go to any dinner or any function with somebody that did me wrong and pretend it's okay. No, I cut you off basically. There's no friends, no associate.
It's not even me
Further
saying
with
that
that.
they're my friend or my associate. It's just common courtesy, and it's just keeping it right then and there. I don't know. It's a line.
Energy.
I feel like one of the definitions of psychopathy is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Right.
If that friend if one of my old friends did me wrong, what's to stop him from doing my other friend wrong? And I'm talking about like I'm talking about like my best friend. If my best friend is hanging with somebody I don't like, I don't have a problem with it. But I do agree with Malachi. He said, if that person's, oh no, I think it was you. Yeah, it was Takara. If they're talking about you behind your back, then that's weird.
Yeah.
100%. And they can hang around, but there's certain people I just tell you like, no, bro, you shouldn't hang around them. That's like they're gonna mess you up, because there are certain people that I believe like you'll get involved with them and you'll get messed up. Like so I think it all depends on your perspective and how you saw the person originally. But if they were like a close friend and they did you wrong, then I don't think that you should like let another close friend deal with the same thing that you had to go through, because it can hurt when you lose a friend.
So you feel zebra doesn't change your stripes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. We were about to get into ops, and I think we already started. We're already in the ops, and so let's define ops. What is an op, or an enemy, or adversary? You gonna let Malaysia talk?
Someone who does not have your best interest at heart. Someone who's like, who's like worried about themselves other than your well-being. At the end of the day, like depending on what kind of relationship you have with them, but usually it stems from like jealousy or like a mutual hatred, something like that.
Okay.
I don't hate anybody. I feel like if you're my op, you're just a cornball.
No, really.
There's no reason. You can have your seat back.
No, I'm just watching.
My bad. There is no such thing as Josh ever having a problem with anybody. I might be bothered by something that you did, but if I'm bothered, I'm gonna tell you. So you becoming like an enemy or an adversary, you gotta do something really oddballish. You gotta do like something out the blue that was weird. And I do have somebody in mind. That's just how it is. But I feel like it takes a lot for me to dislike somebody. I give people multiple chances because I understand, like, if somebody says something that like hurt my feelings, I understand you grew up different, you had a different life than me, that might have hurt. But if you're doing something crazy, there's a realm where I just feel like people just like, you shouldn't have did that. If you know you shouldn't have did that, then
Why are you doing it?
yeah, that's why you became an op, because you knew you weren't supposed to be doing it. Like mine, it's about principle. It's about like you said, Flo, loyalty. When I was still the cameraman, that's what Flo was talking about. I think it's a very important factor in friendship in general. So it's hard to become an op, but
It really is.
yeah, it's somebody who do. Elena Rose Langster said not for her, but she not. But
Come back in and join us and give us your opinion.
would you like the mic?
So why do you feel it's not easy to come a op with you?
It's greatly easy for you to become an op with me. Because once you do something dirty, I've learned if people tell you who you are, believe them. You got one chance. And soon as... Babes. Yes, once you do something dirty, I'm done. I don't waste time. I'm not...
Wouldn't you just see that as a person that you just want to stay away from, not even consider them as op? Because an op and enemy it's a stronger tone than just keeping your distance from them.
They are the opposition. You're not my kind. You're not my friend. You're not my kind.
Even if they didn't do you wrong, but you just seen things that it was just an it. You would just be like, oh yeah, I just hate that person. You want to communicate with them, you want to do nothing with them.
Just because you're my op don't mean I hate you.
Okay, so would you keep it nice, cute, and sweet, even though you don't like them? It's just a...
And we're back. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to continue on with our interview or with our panel discussing relationships, mostly focusing on friendships and ops. Now, when we left off, we were going into ops and op relationships. So we were defining what ops or enemies were. So let's continue on with that. So
I got one. So to me, basically, I define ops or enemy as somebody that there's zero connection, zero interaction, as well as there's no trust. Because, that means that individual or individuals did me wrong, and it could be a minor wrong or a major wrong. I still define that as an op or an enemy because I cut all ties with them as well as all interactions. So there's no hi, no hey, no wave, nothing. Cut all interactions.
I would add that a specific thing for me is that if I find out that there's something wrong between us last, while everyone else finds out before me, that's something that will make me reconsider someone and cut them off. Considering them.
Takira, I know you said earlier that with ops that you really don't have any enemies or anything like that. Let's talk about what are the driving factors? What are the factors for you that makes a person become an op?
Honestly, I don't want to list anybody as a op, only because if they're showing me so much hate or anything like that, it's more of a, okay, I still love you, just keep my distance. And I use that to get to a better place in my life. And you putting hate on top of hate, it's really bad, and it's negativity. So why would you do that when you can just grow and become something out of it? So I don't even see it as an op. I don't see it as anything negative. I just see it as a person that I can just keep my distance from and move forward, if that makes sense.
Nalasia, what makes a person an op for you?
Someone who's And maybe someone who's betrayed my trust, or like, especially if I gave them like another chance to, they've betrayed my trust on like multiple occasions. And it's someone who just can't see past themselves in a way.
But why would you consider them as a op if it's not something like? Because, like I said, op is a very vague.
I mean,
like it's very neat. It's very just there.
like,
It's very powerful too. So how can somebody even consider another person a op?
I mean, if they hate me, I would consider them a op.
So you believe in, like, if someone hates you, you hate them back, or you wouldn't just like, maybe they're upset with something about themselves that they're gonna try to shine a.
Oh.
You gotta come.
Oh, wait. Like, it's just, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself hating them back. It's just, I can't just sit here and pretend like they're not a toxic person for my environment. Like, they are what they are,
So
if that
is it more
makes
so
sense.
disassociation versus an op?
Right.
Like,
Because I feel like if
disassociation.
it's an op, that's fire, and you putting.
I mean,
it's
what
like
does,
fire on top of
wait,
fire.
hold on. Clarify for me, what does op mean for you?
Op mean for me, I feel like I don't have a definition for op only because I don't have a op. I don't see it. I just see it as a very powerful, powerful word. That is
I think we gotta talk about what it means first then, because like I don't know, it's not like clicking to me.
Yeah, I feel like an op is just really like you just want to sit up and dead or something like that. Like I feel like op is just like strangling. It's powerful. It's very just.
Ooh, yeah, that's not what it means for me.
That's
Adversary, your enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, my bad.
But earlier she said her definition of an op is somebody who doesn't have her best interest at heart.
That is true. So I guess
So-
everybody do have a different definition.
So for her, an op could be like somebody that just doesn't like her, that just wants the worst for her, like an ex-friend, somebody that didn't care for her when they're in that friendship.
Right.
So it's different from her than to you, because she is like she doesn't have to like she doesn't have to have any animosity toward them, but she doesn't have to associate with them either. But with you, you're identifying an op as like somebody who hates you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Or like somebody that you like.
Or like specifically that you hate, you know.
Or somebody that you despise. So I think y'all's definition between ops or enemies or adversaries is a little bit different.
Right.
So I think y'all have to talk. I think in terms of that, y'all have to talk about that before y'all get on a conversation of ops and what an op is.
Okay.
Okay, Malachi, what do you consider? Well, you've already given your depths. You've already are cut string. Like you mess up one time, you are done. There's no coming back from that. But when does forgiveness come into the factor in a relationship? Like, I mean, even on the friendship side, I can understand that it's like easier to forgive a friend or whatever. But when does forgiveness come into play when dealing with an ops? I'm not saying you have to be that person's buddy like Ace Boon Coon. Hey, yeah, we chopping it up. But when does forgiveness come into the factor?
You're ready. It's when forgiveness comes in place when you're ready. If you're ready to let it go, then that's your decision. The forgiveness is for you, not for them. And
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
it's for you. You can sit there and forgive them and just keep your distance. That's another thing that I put in play when it comes down to having an op. There's no point of having a op or an enemy when you could just forgive them and go about doing you and leaving them where you leave them where you've met them, pretty much, if that makes sense. It's
I do agree. I feel like 50%.
no, yeah, that was it.
I feel like forgiving somebody. Like I told somebody was mad at something that their old homies did, and I was like, forgiveness isn't for them. It's for you. It's letting go of that anger, that stress, the things that they put you through. Because if you let yourself dwell in that space of life, it's like we learned in our psychology class. It would get trapped in your head, like you.
It's a sin cycle.
Yeah, you will live in that, and you will get stuck in that. So I think letting go of your emotions. I think forgiveness.
Not emotion. It's
Yeah.
like the attachment.
Yeah. Forgiveness is like letting go of all those previous feelings that you had toward that person. It's not exactly for them. It's for you to heal. It's for you to get past that rock, and so you can be better in the future.
Okay. I just like it's just a question. Like, is it like part of that for the other person though? Like, if they're asking for forgiveness, like it's for a reason. So what's the part of it that's like?
It's for you. Forgiveness is never going to be for the other person. Because I can tell you, if you're sitting there and you're trying to wait on that person to get this, to get their forgiveness, it's not going to happen. I can tell you that now. And it could, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen the way that you want it to happen. So you have to find forgiveness for yourself in order to grow. Because you're going to trap yourself trying to seek forgiveness from them, and you're going to be stuck in that same spot in a sin cycle when you could just find forgiveness in yourself to keep pushing, because you know that they might just be in that same spot, if that makes sense.
So I think to summarize what you're saying is that when you forgive, it's to let it go so you can have that inner peace.
For the peace.
So biblically wise, you've done what you've been told to do. You know, when you're seeking forgiveness or when you're forgiving someone, you've asked for forgiveness and you've done your part. I feel as long as you do it genuinely, not just for show or, you know, if you genuinely forgive someone or you're genuinely asking for forgiveness, then you've done your part. You've done your part, and they either can forgive you or you can forgive and move on. But it's just so you can have that inner peace.
I agree.
So, were you?
So what if someone did you wrong, right? But you just never had the opportunity to understand why that individual did you wrong. But in
And you
terms
might
of
not
that,
ever have
right?
that.
So why not? So what about you just finding peace within yourself to just move on, but not forgive, neither forget. Or you just find that peace within you as time goes by to just move on and let it be.
Because you know they're gonna stay in that one spot, and if you know in your heart that you tried your hardest to try and get that forgiveness, and they don't want to put in that effort to like go about it the way that you want to go about it. It's more of like they're gonna stay there. Why are they like? There's no way that you're going to get their forgiveness if they're gonna stay right there. That you really want. So you have to. Sorry, because I didn't really think I did it. But that's where it comes in place of finding forgiveness for yourself. Like you have to want that forgiveness, and it's not even. It's a spiritual thing. Really.
What am I
It's not.
forgiving? If that makes sense. Because let's say, for example, you did me wrong,
Right.
but then I cut all ties with you. So what am I
Right.
forgiving? Am I forgiving the fact that you did me wrong, or I just move
That's
on?
something for you to come to terms with, really. If that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It's more of what you have to realize, not with them. Because if you're seeking for forgiveness from them, you're not going to get it. I'm telling you, you're not.
Nalasia had that put me in a game coach moment.
Oh wait, not really. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like that's like two very aspects that it's the reason why I consider what forgiveness exactly is sometimes, because there are like two very different aspects of the situation and the problem. And it's like putting in one word, it's like not exactly justifying what they did to you, but like
It's learning.
learning to move on for it. And that's why the word forgiveness sometimes like kind of throws me off, and I have to be like, oh, right. Because then after you started explaining it, I was like, oh, okay, this is good. This is under.
Spiritual aspect, it's more of what you can do to grow from it, not what you can do to get the validation or get the what did you do wrong, or like you, if that makes sense, like not pointing the finger. It's okay, I went through this, now how can I get out of this? How can I sit here and paint a bigger picture from what you did to me? Or
We had 13 minutes, by the way.
okay. of it all.
That's 27 together.
Okay. So with that aspect of forgiveness, do you think an op relationship could change into a friendship relationship at some point?
Yes, 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 and yes. I'm okay. Story moment. I fought this one girl in 5th grade all the way into high school, and I'm like being so serious. Me and her did not like each other at all, but the fact that our senior year, we both came to the common ground, because it was more of like one person will forgive but the other person will hold on to the animosity, and it was always going to be a tit for tat, because it's always one person not agreeing with the other person. And when we sat there and we went from all the way back, yes, it was bad, it was terrible that we had to go all the way back, but growing up, you learn to let things go. You learn that, yes, you did me like this, but would you do it again? Yes, this happened, but it's like, what can I do to make you feel better? Because we realized it was petty. It was immature. We were kids, you know? So having that in the back of our head, it's not okay, me, you're going to hang out 24/7. No, it's like, okay, how are you doing? It's checkups, and it's okay to be friends with a person that you didn't even think you'll be friends with because of what y'all had going on in the past. But that shows growth in both. That's not everybody. That is just it's how you go about things, really, if that makes sense.
I think what in your situation, y'all found the root cause of the animosity, or you found the root cause of what was causing that tension between you all, and y'all solved it. So I think that was very mature of you.
It took years, from 5th grade all the way up to high school, and now I'm in college. Now that's a big gap. I'm not saying it's gonna be like that. No, you're gonna go through a lot of things that's with it. But she's never been considered a friend throughout that whole time, even when we were figuring it out. And she's still she's still not really a friend. It's just one of the people. It's like, okay, we got this understanding. It's okay, and we can chit chat. We can catch up about things, and it's okay. It's very mutual. It's not really on a friend aspect, but I feel as though me and her could become good friends in the future if we keep, because it's been good ever since. Not everybody is like that though. It's more of like, you both, she found forgiveness in herself and I found forgiveness in myself. So that's what we build.
Case by case basis.
For me, as you said, as you gave your perspective on that, I believe that comes with age as well and with time, because like now, as grown adults, if you did me wrong once, or like you did something to jeopardize my life or my character or anything that comes into play with that, there's no way moving forward in the future that we could ever reconnect and become friends. Not even a hi, goodbye, because you did something.
So Malachi, so even if, let's say, a childhood playmate, accidentally threw a ball at you and hit you in the stomach, and that happened when you were 3 years old. To this day, y'all couldn't be friends. Like,
in a case like that, yes, we could be friends.
But it's
like,
the same thing.
No, I'm referring
I
to
think
as
it is.
with with that situation, yes, friends. But like now, like say for example, somebody plant weed or drugs within my bag and had the cops hold me up for something I never did, or try to jeopardize my life or tarnish my character within a public environment. There's no friendship coming back from that.
Yeah,
I
okay,
can,
that makes sense.
that's
But
justifiable.
would you at least forgive him and just keep it as a, I know what you did. Let's keep it pushing now. Like you staying where you're at and I'm leaving type thing, and you just, but it's not hate, because it's, to me, I feel like it's more of like you're putting more hate into like it all, instead of just leaving them where they're at, keeping it peaceful and keeping it pushing. That's all you have to do.
Okay, so let me throw some little salt in here. Let me put some pepper in here and spice this up a little bit.
Real quick, we almost have an hour.
Oh my God.
Okay. Let's spice this up really quick, really quick, because I'm about to take it biblical. So if God treated us the same way we treat our neighbor, how would that play out? Do you think God would, like, if we said, God said, I'm not gonna be your friend no more. I'm not gonna cover you anymore because you always do me wrong. How does that come into play?
I mean,
Because I'm about to go biblical.
I don't want to say just don't do wrong, because we will always do wrong.
Yeah, but you're supposed to always show love.
Yeah, but that is my love. My love is basically, if you do me wrong or try to end my life, my love is cut all ties
But
and
God
just
did the
wish you the
same thing.
best. I'm wishing you the best without telling you I'm wishing you the best. But you just cannot interact moving forward, because you put my life on the line or you tarnish my character. How you expect me as a man to put that behind me and say, yes, let's hang out tonight, let's go and watch movies or something? That cannot set right, because you could do that same wrong again. Or it even have to be that same thing you're doing, but it could be a different wrong, and giving people multiple chances. You show them that they could abuse my power, abuse my kindness, and I don't sit by that.
Okay, but you don't have to take it that far. You can at least, like, if you can say, hey, how you doing? Like, keep it short, keep it sweet. Not saying, don't give them a whole line. Just put your foot in the door. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you want to put, you're still saying it as a foot in the door instead of just a leg in the door, not just a foot. Does that make sense? Like, no one's gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, me and you're gonna hang out, we're gonna go to this party or stuff like that. No, I can sit here and I can have a reasonable conversation with you. I can say, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a good day, and keep it pushing. But I'm not about to sit here and go above and beyond or go to different places with you. That's just not me. Like, they did the same thing with God. They tried to tear him down and everything like that, and guess what he did? He still showed love at the end of the day.
So the word says, how can God is asking, how can you love me? Say that you love me, but you can't love your neighbor.
But I love my neighbors, but I just showed it from my perspective that there's no connection moving forward. Because, for example, right, out of the 200 people that goes to school here at Portwood, you don't say hi to everybody. You walk past certain people, and there's no hate within that. So why I couldn't walk past the person that did me wrong and not say hi, but yet I have no hate within them? It's the same thing.
I mean,
You walking on the street, there's multiple people living and walk past on the street and not say hi. Why
because you don't have no connection with them either. You could just sit there, like, you could still feel the energy, the negative energy walking past each other. I'm telling you, because you can, it's from experience. Me and this girl walking past each
I mean,
every day.
there's also
But I still know in my heart, I still love her, even though she did me so bad. I can still say, okay, I love her. I don't want to push nothing bad on her or anything like that, because I know that's what we're supposed to do. And I know in my heart that's what I want to do. It's not even more
was just gonna say, like, even behind the psychological aspect of it, it's just like maybe it's not even, you know, the aspect of like specifically hating that person. It's just like, especially with the example that he gave, like literally they put your life in danger. Like you probably aren't gonna want to confront that person. Like there's a whole like traumatic aspect behind that too.
Okay, so we're gonna bring this to the close, because we could bring this topic could go on and on and on. I want to thank you all for coming on to the show. Your opinions were very valuable, and we thank you so much. Thank you for coming on to the podcast, and we're signing off from Paul Quinn College.